Sat strategy. Today we're going to talk in detail about Chalu and Funny's love story. At Licks and Pieces, we've shared stories about them in many of our past podcasts. We haven't been able to create a dedicated podcast yet, but now we're going to present their story to you in a more detailed manner. You already know a lot of the past, so there's no point in repeating it. We'll tell you whatever little is worth sharing, and then we'll discuss the current situation. So let's give a brief overview of the past. The situation in the past was that Chalu Madam was always a go-getter. She loved talking to people, discussing things with them, and hanging out with them, and you can still find many pictures of Mumbai in ceiling there, the bhabhi's podcast, and on his channel, including many still reels and photographs of them. They used to hang out together quite happily. So-called hijabi. She used to hang out with a lot of guys. She would roam around. She would recharge her phone with them. She would tell her family that she was going out to work. But when she got home, she would chat with those same guys. She would go out and meet them. The reason behind this was partly due to her brother and sister-in-law. They had said, "We're introducing you, but you have to do the work beyond that you have to create a bond with them. You have to talk to them." Chalu took the topic of conversation differently, and they started talking in a good way. They started chatting, not just chatting. They started talking all night long. She would come down to the compound, hunched over her phone, sharing all her details with them. She would talk about them. She started speaking ill of her brother and sister-in-law. She started telling them this. She started telling those guys how oppressed I am. My brother doesn't let me go out. Despite earning so much, they still want me to work. We don't know anything. These people travel anywhere they want. They sign contracts for any serial themselves. No permission is sought from anyone. No concern is shown with anyone, and there's a lot of conflict in our house. What you see of our sister-in-law on the screen is nothing like that. There's a lot going on inside. She used to have these conversations with people from Mumbai on a daily basis. She thought that the people from Mumbai would melt away and we might not need Funny, the guy on stand, with us. But that didn't happen. In the end, we had to settle for Funny. Let me share some details from her past, just in case. There was a situation where she had relationships with many boys. There weren't just 1, 2, or 3. There were many boys with whom I had engagements at different levels at different times. Back then, it was the era of Facebook and the era of good, so we chatted and talked we talked for long periods of time. We recharged our phones. Boys were told, "Marry me or I'll commit suicide." Yes, I need to make this very clear. This suicide incident didn't just happen with Funny. It had happened with many boys. "I'll commit suicide. I'll file a police complaint. If I commit suicide, I'll write to you that I'm dying because of you." I'm telling you about Chalu. Yes, someone told me what you say gets mixed up a lot. Don't say this or that, so let's clarify a little. These were the words of Chalu for those guys. "I'll commit suicide. I'll write to you that I'm dying because of you. You and your entire family will rot in jail." All these things were said, and all the friends of those men, those whom Chalu used to date, also sent messages saying, "Wait, these people are harassing us. They're harassing us, torturing us mentally, physically, abusing us." All this was done with the intention of forcing the boys to marry. But many boys weren't forced. One guy had already reached the point where he said, "Okay, brother, if you feel like it, I'll get married." Then there's a place called DB Mall in Bhopal, which everyone from Bhopal can resonate with. They know about a huge fight took place there. Now, let me clarify who the fight was between at DB Mall, Chalu and that guy, and there was another member of their family who witnessed the entire fight, Al-Digane. The fight had escalated to a serious level. Chalu was saying, "I'll commit suicide. I'll put everyone in jail. If you don't talk to me, don't marry me. I'll do this, I'll do that." Meanwhile, the boy was largely in denial mode. He tried to resist her. He blocked her, didn't talk to her, and even left the city for indoor for a while. But she didn't listen. When she didn't listen, he said, "Okay, let's get married by the end of the day." When his mother found out, she was deeply upset. She felt very bad, and in the end, she committed suicide. What is life like without a mother? You can understand. But Chalu Madam killed a mother. She destroyed her because of her threats on her mother. Can't come back, couldn't be back. Everything was over for her. After this, many men came into Chalu's life. Among those many boys, Funny was on standby. Today, a term used by the judgy generation is called benching. So this is what the benching situation means. Let me give you a little background on it. A benching situation means that there will be a person in your life who will be benched with you on standby. But at the same time, you can also date other people. This is allowed. It's an open relationship. So this similar situation existed between Chalu and Funny because he knew that no one else would pay attention to him because Chalu, Madam, felt that she had entered the industry, that she was no less than any actor or actress. She had undergone a lot of transformation. There have been many changes in her past and present. As I told you, you can go and see their channels. You will understand the vast difference, and Bhabhi had orchestrated all this, but it was done at a very high level for Chalu. Now all this difference came when Chalu decided that now we can get rules, etc. We can enter the industry. Now we have many friends in the industry and we have established many good relationships with them. We are having a lot of conversations. But after this, the people he made friends with whom he crossed his limits, posted photos of himself being close, went out with them. They did not support him. They did not give him any roles. They just kept giving him assurances that if something happens, they will let him know. If something happens, they will let him know. Meanwhile, pressure started coming from home. My brother and sister-in-law started complaining. My parents started complaining, saying that you are old now. Papa is not feeling well. Sister-in-law has come to take care of the house. Now it is not possible with so many people. You should get married and get out of here. These were the words he frequently conveyed to Madam Chalu. Get married. The time has come for marriage. You have to get married and we can't tolerate anymore. And Ama, who had a lot of conflict with Chalu, had told her many times in conversations. Ama had told Chalu many times that she was fed up with him. You've done a lot of things in the past. Don't do anymore. Get married as soon as possible and get out of here. Then Chalu decided that all other options were closed to him. All the doors were closed. Now we have our benching guy, Funny. We're trying to reconnect with him and talk to him. Back then it was the era of Facebook and CUD. So we started talking to Funny frequently. Funny was also in denial mode. He wasn't exactly ready to get married. The relationship was ongoing, on and off. He was Funny, interested in that girl, and he was managing his daily routine quite well. He used to earn 60,000 euros from booking tickets, and he would eat, drink, and have fun. Until then, he had a good bond with his sister and his brother-in-law, because they had arranged for Funny's job outside, because Funny wasn't doing anything at all. While he was here, he was in the mood, just hanging out, cricket, because his mother had repeatedly told his sister to call him out, get him a job. Then his brother-in-law, yes, he should be called brother-in-law. Brother-in-law got him a job. He says, get him a job. He got Funny a job, and Funny went there and started working again. Funny was trying to settle down nicely. He was doing a proper job there too. He would cook on and off, and go out and about. He was enjoying his life. But Sheila Madame couldn't tolerate this. She felt like she wanted this guy back. She wanted to call the manager, who was earning 60,000 euros from booking tickets. She wanted to bring him back to England. She wanted to introduce him to her family. She wanted to tell them that he was a simple guy. He recharges my mobile. He has an MBA. I have a BCA. We're very educated people. We won't elope and get married. So we'll get married in front of our families after telling everyone. But before that, Chalu had been making high-level threats about marriage, which had caused a lot of trouble to Funny and his family. Then Chalu decided to go to their house. She wanted to threaten them. So without telling her parents, brother or sister-in-law, Chalu left Mumbai for Malda, seething with anger. Without telling him, because Chalu was being pressured so much by his family that he had had enough. One day, Chalu and his mother had a huge fight. After that fight, Chalu decided that he wouldn't budge and that he had to go to Funny's house and discuss everything with them. After this, he insulted Funny's parents, his family, and everyone in his family. He declared in front of Funny that he would commit suicide. He would come here and die. He would die in front of them. They did a lot. I'm talking about Chalu. Even after this, his family was largely unconvinced. Then Chalu played his trump cards, spending money, buying a shop, buying a car, buying a plot of of land. Chalu and his family had planned everything in advance. Meanwhile, the gentlemen and ladies present there also tried very hard to convince him. In the sense, Madam and Sir had tried many times to convince Funny's parents to get them married. Everything would be settled. You don't need to worry, he said. But Funny's parents weren't ready. Not only that, Funny's sister wasn't ready either. Her husband wasn't ready either. He wasn't in a position to have his child or his brother married into a family whose entire family was about to break people up, about to break up the home. After all this, when the trump card was thrown and it was announced that shops, plots, and everything would be in their names, the wife surrendered. The wife. Not everyone in the family had surrendered. Even at this point, Funny's sister and his mother were resisting to a great extent, but nothing could be done. Then they had to surrender, they had to get married. We've already told you about the pre-wedding situation. Chalu had gone home forcibly to fight, to scream, to shout, to the point of marriage. Even on the day of the wedding, when the fight started, to the point where weddings were taking place, because there were a lot of issues even during the wedding. The wedding. This lady Chalu Madam was a Chalu Madam. She had supported Funny financially to a great extent, which Mr. Khan was a little upset about, wondering why financial support was needed at this level. It made no sense. There was no need for all this Lego. And slowly, Funny had started to win over Chalu Madam. He had started setting his tone even before the wedding. How did Funny set his tone? Funny was very interested when Chalu Adam used to bark about him and Mr. Kanti Karan. She used to say about them that they go out on their own. It was the same with the guys in Mumbai. She could have exaggerated a little more here, saying these two aren't nice to us. They scold us too much. We get scolded for our electricity bill. We scold us for all the other household bills and expenses. We're not allowed to go out as we please. Both my brother and sister-in-law make their own decisions. We only get 1,000 rupees a month, and we have to survive on that. Even when the house was being built, the current house, the interior designing, etc., was the first time, because now so much has been done, everything is running on a loop. When it first happened, Madam had designed everything on her own. All the raw materials, the manpower, and pretty much everything was decided by Madam. The interior design at the petty level was all Madam's doing, which Chalu didn't like. Chalu needed to give her input, which led to numerous conflicts. Even then, there were clashes with Ami Jan, and then the wedding. Sorry, again, we digress from the topic. Back then, when Funny started laying the groundwork for the whole affair, your brother and sister-in-law don't support you. They don't stand up for you, so you shouldn't listen to them. Give us money, what do you... Funny, in passing, kept extorting a lot of money from Madam, which was Chalu's own Narma coming back to her. Chalu had already incurred a lot of expenses, paid a lot of money. Almost all of her wedding preparations were done with his money. There was even talk of buying a shop worth 80-85 lakh for a guy earning 60,000 euros, living abroad and having to do everything himself, cooking, living, and everything else. This was a huge deal for him. It was a win-win situation for him. I'd be settling down and living my life as a son-in-law. And before leaving, Funny had even told his parents that he was going to settle down. He was going to live his life. And he would gradually take over everything they had. And today, Funny is incredibly lucky that many things have come to him automatically. He's made many compromises for this. He had a relationship with his own sister and with his own brother-in-law who got him a job. When Funny wasn't doing anything, he was just playing cricket. Then, her brother-in-law was helping Funny's parents by sending some money from there. Her brother-in-law, sister, and brother-in-law tried to support Funny's family, but no one was willing to do anything. Even when Funny opened his restaurant, Kushamgir, in Delhi, his mother didn't come. Funny's mother didn't come because Funny's sister was coming to India from abroad. Some land-related work, including registration, had to be done, and she had to come to India urgently. They were very close though. There's not much difference between Mada and Delhi. But because Chaklu had these words, Yon Kumpazi has arrived, we won't meet right now because we don't need any material from them right now. We have plenty of material. We'll meet when we need it and we'll show you the gifts and such. In this situation, Funny scolded her mother, asking why Why can't you come to the function now? Is your son more important to you or your daughter? It's such a big day and you're not available. Funny had said many such things to her mother. He was rude to her. He behaved very inappropriately. Let's get back to the topic. They got married. There were many fights during the wedding. Funny had already said his mind. Your brother is against you. If he is against you, then do as you wish. Chalu Madam thought Funny was saying all the right things. He was talking about the godlike husband. So I will do everything I can for Funny. Chalu Madam crossed her limits and started doing many things, pushing the limits. There were many fights at the wedding itself. The bride who sits quietly and smiles was not the one who smiled. There was no trace of delicacy. She was picking fights even then, arguing with people. If there was any activity that was going against her will, she was making choices. I'm talking about Chalu. She was making choices that she would put her point across right then and there. She would pick fights right then and there. She would yell and scream right then. Chalu Madam was doing all this while sitting at the wedding. And even before the wedding, they had many fights during the haldi ceremony, during the barat ceremony, because her family was saying they didn't want to get married and they had already invested a lot of money. So now they couldn't back out. So they had to get married. Then they got married. Then came the reception. When the reception came, they came to Mumbai. Even after arriving in Mumbai, there were many arguments. Funny was told that she had to stay here, she had to stay there. She'll stay here, she'll stay there. There were many discussions and glitches around this. There were many fights about why my family wasn't being given a mention. My family was being invited by the gentlemen for the reception, and after that they weren't respected at all. No one was meeting them with dignity. No one was talking to them. Whatever was happening here, whatever show-off was being made, or whatever situation was being attempted to be asserted was about the gentleman and the lady. They were being highlighted. Their friends and relatives had come, but none of our friends and relatives were being invited. They weren't being given a mention. These were Funny's words at that time. After that, they got married. Funny's family members also moved in with Malka. After Malka left, he had to endure a lot of criticism. At that time, Funny had become completely dependent on Chalu, and Chalu understood that now Funny was under my control. He would do as I told him. And Funny made a lot of compromises in the initial days. He cut off contact with his relatives. He cut off contact with his sister Kaz and his sister, who live in Mumbai. You might have seen in his videos a few days ago that his brother and sister-in-law were coming to visit him. They were all his friends, colleagues, friends. One should not call them colleagues. It was friendship. He ended all those relationships. Chalu Madam and Funny surrendered themselves. On the initial days, Funny had said that some money would be sent to his father. We would support him financially. The money transfer that had been agreed upon before the wedding never happened. Chalu, of his own volition, made transactions with the correct amount for a month or two. Then he gradually started reducing the amount. Furthermore, he had completely stopped communicating with his sister. Funny would occasionally try to avert her secretly, but Chalu Madam's relationship wasn't You're not supposed to communicate here. Oh, he said, You're not supposed to have any kind of relationship with her. Now let's talk about what changes have occurred since he moved to Mumbai. First, as Funny says, I never came here, I never met him in Mumbai. He met him occasionally, which we learned through sources. Sources shouldn't be revealed now, but he has very clearly mentioned that Funny used to visit occasionally. He met him occasionally. Chalu Madam took care of his travel expenses, his accommodation, everything. This has been happening since YouTube was created. He used to come after that. Funny used to come. Whenever Funny would come, they would go out and mingle, and Chal, who would be accompanied by Pizza Madam Baikwa. Back then, Pizza's job was to follow Chalu wherever she went, carrying a bottle of water, biscuits, chocolates, coconut water, whatever it was. Her job was to follow Chalu Madam and help her. She would also talk on the phone, available downstairs, and wander around the compound. Pizza Madam would also be there when Chalu Madam was on the phone. Besides, in all the other situations where Funny would come, we would socialize. They would go out and about. Even then, Pizza remained a good friend, a companion and a confidant. And after this, Chalu and Funny met. The wedding took place, and after the wedding, during their initial days, they started having daily arguments. One incident occurred when they had returned from a trip to the compound. As soon as they returned, their mother, Shalu Maram's mother, angrily told Shalu Maram to stop this daily antics. You're spending your money on this man every day. You're just not happy with him, so stop spending so much money on him every day. They had come shopping and so on. Shalu Maram had bought Funny some expensive and beautiful things. As they arrived, on initial days, Fanny would open the gate. He would hold Chalu Madam's hand and let her down. There was one day when Chalu had placed all the items on the dashboard. Should they call them garlands or what? I'm not 100% sure about the exact word used for other pearl beads. You can consider that based on your preferences and choices. But she picked up the sari and threw it down. In anger, she even hit the dashboard. She even hit the review mirror. She got down in a rage and said, I'm the one who's supporting you and your family. I'm spending money on you. She ordered to me. When I told you not to talk, how can you talk to me? The story was currently going on because Funny had getting involved with a lot of girls that woman. It even started to surface that the Hushamdid restaurant on Mira Road was where the cameras were turned off for socializing with girls more. And Funny had started setting up his pitch there too because Funny was meeting a lot of girls. He would tell them, my brother and sister-in-law are in the TV industry, so I'll get you a job too, and I'll settle your life very well. Even Krishna, who works in content editing, we pay him 80,000 euros, 200,000 euros. So I'll pay you a lot of money and give you work. He made promises like this to many girls. Funny misled many girls with these same words. And Chalu Madam has seen the chats of them. Then many of the girls would even come to his house to argue, saying that what they were promised hadn't been fulfilled. After this, Chalu Madam became very angry and orchestrated this incident. Just a few days before this incident, Chalu and Amajan had a major fight in which Amajan had told him very clearly not to spend so much money on Funny. Even Mr. Janab had tried to hint to Chalu Madam many times, trying to tell her not to spend so much money on him, not to spend so much money on him, not to waste so much money on him. But Chalu Madam simply couldn't understand. Funny had already set his pitch. After arriving, he began to set it even better. Mr. Madam is jealous of you. He doesn't want to see you anymore. You should break up with him. Stop being with him. Gradually, Funny ended all his relationships with Chalu as well. A similar situation to what Mr. Janab did with Madam ended all her relationships. Madam began to completely trust Mr. Janab. The same situation occurred here. After this, Funny completely paralyzed Chalu Madam. If she wanted to go anywhere, she would need Funny to be with her. And it took Funny a lot of time to build all this trust. Sorry, we're talking about Funny here. It took Funny a lot of time because whenever he went to the gym, he would always make video calls. He would keep the video on. In the early days, whenever he went out, he would inform everyone. If he was on call, he would keep it on. He would often give fake compliments to his wife while on call so that she would think he was praising her excessively. Chalu started to have a lot of ideas about this because he was getting a lot of information from various sources. Chalu doesn't go out of the house, but he started hanging out with his PR people. He started hanging out with the people he brought in for his shop. We'll do a separate podcast about Delta Diaries, about what happened there. But beyond that, Chalu started to understand all these things. When Chalu began to understand, he began to raise his voice. When he began to raise his point, establish his perspective, and raise his voice, he realized that Funny was about to slip away. Because Funny was slowly coming into his own, taking on a role Chalu hadn't even known he had. Funny had now reached a point where he was saying, your condition will become very bad. Funny began threatening Chalu, saying, if I leave, nothing will be left in your life. Be very conscious about it. No one in your family will support you. So you're wondering what will happen to you. Gradually, Funny had removed everything from Chalu's life. Nothing remained in his life. So Chalu realized no one in my life except Funny. By the time Chalu realized this, it was too late. In the midst of this, Funny also had a falling out. Not just one, but several with Mr. Janab. Funny and Mr. Janab only came face to face twice via direct confrontation. Furthermore, there were other conflicts via Chalu, where Funny would go and provoke Chalu, saying, me, Mr. Madam Gorian couldn't come to our restaurant opening. He wouldn't hang out with us. He wouldn't give us any consideration. He wouldn't give my family any consideration. He wouldn't be interacted with in a dignified manner. All these things started to get framed this way. Even when Chalu's mother would come to visit his father, she wouldn't take care of him because she wasn't used to holding him all day, taking care of him. Funny would yell at her, when you can't work, should we just take you around to feed and clothe you? Yeah. These were Funny's words. Even when the children were divided, Funny's reaction was, quote, to our instructions. Whatever we say, he will have to do. First, the black scarf should be around his neck on the first day. From the day he joins our side, he will get a black scarf. Whatever is shown, he will have to do as we say. What is shown to you outside, to the media, to YouTube, is that Funny has a very so-called family. Funny is very respectful of everyone. He is very attentive to people. He is equally severely reprimanded. He is yelled at behind YouTube. Not only pizza pihan jeti kala, even Amijan is treated rudely. Adan is treated rudely. They are also told via the medium that we are spending money on you. We are feeding you. Now we will not spend on you. For some time now, Funny had been threatening Chalu that if she spends money on her mother, he would immediately leave from Auda. You may or may not have noticed since the day this threat was made, but take a look. Chaltalu hasn't taken her mother shopping on any given day. It's been a while since Chalu and Funny had a very extreme fight. We'll discuss this in the next podcast when we talk about Delta Diaries. Because this podcast has already gotten very long and many of you have complained that it's getting too long. Sorry if we shorten it, we won't be able to cover many things. Therefore, a longer podcast becomes extremely important in this situation. Now let's clarify a little. Funny and Chalu have a fight in which Funny says, I will leave you, Kusheali's matrans, and tries to impose himself on Chalu Alu. So Chalu has now entered a bit of a surrender mode, which she wasn't before. Chalu used to have the upper hand, but now Funny Sir has the upper hand. He can get whatever he wants done, however he wants. You'll see a significant transformation in Funny. Funny is getting all his treatments done on time. He's enjoying his life very comfortably. Going out, paying his friends for interest, flirting with girls, telling girls that he'll get them world, that he'll settle their lives, and then abandoning them. All this has been going on for a long time. We'll share all the details of what happened next in the next video. We've clarified many things about Funny. It was important to share these things because you should know what's going on in this current situation. You already know a lot about the past though. Let me clarify the situation with Funny a little further. Funny has changed himself to a great extent, but now he's trying to be the person he portrays as a much better person. Funny has also become a very good actor. He's even groomed himself by going to the gym. You'll see Funny looking much better than him in many videos. Whenever there have been fights with Funny, he said the same thing. Funny has made it very clear that he won't help anyone financially. He'll only help them financially if they do what guys say. A prime example of this is Cheti, Kalakala, Pizza, and Pihan. When they work, they'll be paid for their work. If they don't get paid, whatever is required will be done in cash and kind. But only if they work for us. They help us with our services, which they provide on a daily basis. Even Funny's laundry is largely handled by Pizza. Someone asked us, how do you know she washes clothes? We know because she goes up and down the stairs carrying a whole load of laundry and returns with the wet ones. Cool. She dries the clothes and almost everyone has seen her doing all this list. So everyone knows who washes the clothes, how they wash them, and who dries them. Chetty Kala's job is to cook and take care of the children. Pizza's other duties include cleaning the toilet, cleaning the kitchen, decorating the house, washing clothes, drying them, and taking care of the leather. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll have another video in the evening which won't be broadcast. There are answers to some questions. We'll bring you that video today or tomorrow. Part 2 will be uploaded tomorrow or the day after. You'll be notified of the time. If you have any doubts or clarifications, please reply in the comments. You can comment. We'll try to respond. See you soon with another video. All of you take great care of yourselves, have fun and enjoy your... Take care. Bye. Be.